Welcome, my dear students of 8A and 8B, to my History and Civics class. This lesson number 13, topic Rise of Nationalism. This is a lesson as per your reduced syllabus of council. This lesson is not included, but still I am teaching it only because of your understanding, because the previous better understanding, because the previous lesson which I taught you, the revolt of 1857, many lessons are relevant to this lesson. Many points are relevant to the previous lesson. Many points of this lesson are relevant to the previous lesson, the revolt of 1857. So, in order to make you understand in better form, I have decided to teach this lesson, but no question will come from this lesson since it is not included in the reduced syllabus. But revolt of 1857, this lesson is very important for you. So many questions may come from there, obviously will come from there. That's why I am teaching this lesson, so that you can attempt any type of inside questions from the previous lesson, the revolt of 1857. Now, let's start. Impact of revolt of 1857. Impact of revolt of 1857. You know, the revolt of 1857 started with an aim of suppressing Indian nationalism, because it was due to the British efforts the Indian people got themselves united against an oppressive rule. Earlier, when the British did not come to our country, before the arrival of the British in India, the Indian states were divided into many. India was divided into many states. Before the arrival of the British, India was divided into many states with many rulers, and each state was governed by one ruler. That's why the people had no national identity. The people did not have any knowledge of nationality, because there was no spirit of nationalism among them, since they were governed by each and every ruler of from their respective state. But it was due to the effort of the British. After the suppression of the revolt of 1857, the British, forced the Indians to be united. Almost all parts of India, not many in numbers, but more or less many Indians, got themselves united against an oppressive rule, and they all got themselves united, and as a result of it, a sense of nationalism was formed. A sense of nationalism was formed among them. And next point, British birth of Indian nationalism. Birth of Indian nationalism. The Indian people, for the first time, realized that they could protest against the oppressive rules of a foreign country, a foreign ruler who came to their country to rule them. They had no right. They had no right to rule, but they established their colony in their country, and the Indians were forced by them to abide by their rules and regulations. But when the revolt of 1857 started, the Indian people for the first time felt that they could protest against any act of misery. They could protest against the oppressive law of the British. And who showed the pathway? Only the Sipahis of India. They showed the pathway. Under which circumstances? When the one rifle was introduced to use, Enfield rifle, known as Enfield rifle. It was introduced for the Indian sepoys for using, but they refused to use it. Why? I have taught you earlier, you know it very well. But due to that reason, wrong introduction for the Indian sepoys, the sepoys decided to raise their voice against the British rule in India, and it gave the birth of Indian nationalism. The people of all sections of our society, although it was very not many in numbers but small in numbers, but yet they extended their cooperation towards the sepoys. During the revolt of 1857, people came under one umbrella. They realized that it belonged to their country. So they had their own national identity. They had their own concept, nationalism. It belonged to their own country. As a result of it, by way of protesting against the British rule, by way of supporting the sepoys, by way of fighting against the British in the Battle of 1857, the people of India realized that they must protest against the British rule, and they had their own identity, own nationality, and this factor led the growth of Indian nationalism. Next point, spirit of nationalism. The people of India, you know the sense among the people of India, the sense of oneness that they belong to one nation, and this very nation belonged to them. The people of India, they all were Indians. They should not have been ruled by foreign rulers, but it was an unfortunate incident. It was an unfortunate incident in the fate of the Indians. They were ruled by foreign rulers, and it gave rise to the spirit of nationalism, Indian nationalism, the spirit of Indian nationalism amongst Indians, among the Indians, and the whole country was governed. Since the whole country was governed by only the British, and since the British had established one centralized government throughout the country, this centralized government brought about political and administrative unification among the Indians in India. Among the Indian political and administrative unification among the Indians in India. Why? Because the British had established one central administration in India. But earlier, that system was not there, because India was divided into many states, as I told you earlier, and each state was ruled by one ruler. Naturally, the state which was ruled by one ruler, and the other state also, so the states which were ruled by their respective rulers, they did not have any knowledge of nationality, national identity. But as soon as the British established one central administration after having suppressed the revolt of 1857, for the first time the people of India realized that there should be unification among themselves, since it belonged to their own country. And the British introduced, the same rules and regulations for the people of India throughout the country. That's why the people, while following the same rules and regulations, irrespective of their religious customs and traditions, languages and caste, it developed the sense of oneness among the people of India, and it also gave a birth of the spirit of nationalism. And next point, system of communication. System of communication. The British, introduced a good system of communication. They they established well-developed system of transport and communication throughout the country. Why? It is only for their own conveniences. In order to govern India, in order to look after the entire administrative system throughout the country, they realize that more efficient administration should be established. In order to do it, they for the first time felt that there should have well established and developed system of transport and communication. The network of roads, the network of railways, postal system and telegraphs kept people well connected with one another, and this connectivity helped the people of India realize that their problems, their crises, their aspirations were not different from others because they belong to only one country. That country's name is India, and since they all are Indians, so they are facing the same problems, but their problems are same, their aspirations also are same, so they are not different from those living in other parts of India. For the first time they realize, because of the introduction of good system of communication, a good system of transport. So these facilities enabled Indians to understand or to communicate each other, and organized an all India movement throughout the country. Next point, birth of an all India movement. As I told you earlier, the introduction of a good system of communication, and introduction of railways, roads, telegraphs. The people for the first time felt that they must communicate. They must communicate with each other. They must communicate with each other, and since they belong to only one country, India, and being Indians, they must do something better for the growth of Indian nationalism, because the concept of nationalism already was formed among the Indians. They realized that it belonged to their own nation. So, they, as an Indian, it should be their first and foremost duty to free their motherland from being ruled by a foreign ruler. That's why during the age of good system of transport and communication, the people of India started connecting themselves from one part to another part, and communicated a message of Indian growth and development by means of organizing revolts, by means of organizing movements against the British, so that British must provide a lot of facilities to the Indians, and the British must remove irregularities from their administration and administrative policy. The British must remove distress of the Indians. The British must remove inequalities. The British must treat the Indians as the Europeans. So this type of ideas came to the minds of the Indian people, and they started organizing movements, revolts from one place to another by traveling by train, traveling by trains, and traveling by trains in different parts of India, in different cities of India, and were able to communicate a new message to the British government that the Indians would overthrow the British rule in the long run if they, they did not provide facilities to the Indians. And if the British failed to remove contrast between the Indians and the Europeans. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.